So we've got another tackle on the USC roster who will definitely be drafted. He's Mr. Zach Banner, who projects in that top 5 range. This is a very uh, marginal, to say the least, class for offensive linemen across the board, centers, guards, and tackles. This may be the first tackleless draft in the first 15 picks, if that makes any sense, where a tackle has not been selected in the first 15 picks since 1987. But Zach Banner's not going to be drafted in that kind of rarefied air, but he should be a top 80 to 100 pick, something like that.
Yeah, everyone loves Zach Banner. For one, he's a great personality. He's got a great head for the game. He's upbeat. He's positive. Everyone just loves to be around him. But what sticks out, if you've ever seen Zach Banner on TV standing next to anyone, is that he is huge. He's 6'8". He was pushing 400 pounds at the Rose Bowl. I think 380-ish, somewhere in there. Incredible strength. With that kind of size and strength, he doesn't necessarily have to have the best technique to have great leverage. He can just sort of, push people around or throw them around, really. Although having said that, for his size, he is an incredible athlete, and he does have pretty good technique. But he's been able to use his size to his advantage, so he's got that advantage there. Unfortunately, it might be a little bit too much of a good thing. The biggest concern for him among NFL scouts was his weight. They thought he was just too heavy, was not going to be able. If you don't have sort of that athleticism, especially at tackle, to sort of get it to an edge rusher, if you get beat, you're not very useful as a tackle, quite frankly. But I will say this for Zach Banner: he has lost since the Rose Bowl on January 2nd. He has actually lost 40 pounds. Well, as of a couple weeks ago, he might be down even more now. So he is the biggest question mark. He has went and attacked relentlessly, which I think is also impressing a lot of scouts, that that goes to his coachability and his determination that he's going to make this work. There are other downsides of that size. He's not the most flexible guy. If you need to get his pads low, if you need his more bend at the knees or be able to turn his body, it's a little bit more of a struggle for him. But a lot of people love him. I think he does benefit greatly from being sort of a weaker offensive line class in general. And then one other odd thing that I don't think a lot of people necessarily think about is that at 6'8" as a lineman, sometimes it's a little difficult to physically see over him and get the pass over him. So he's got to get low so his quarterback can see, or his running back can get around him. And if he has flexibility problems, that can cause some hindrances. But if there's any guy that, no matter where you pick him, whether you pick him first or last or not at all, if there's any guy that's going to find a way to make it work and succeed, it's going to be Zach Banner. And it's tough to quantify that. It's tough for scouts to really get a handle on that. But this is the guy who's just going to make it happen one way or another. He's going to make it happen. And so I think that's the biggest thing he's got going for him. But in terms of where he's going to go, it's really tough to say. It just depends on how concerned scouts are about his size, and whether that's going to be a constant battle throughout his career, and whether or not he's going to be able to work as a tackle.
Yeah, the weight concerns are there. You bring up a good point in regards to the discipline he has at least shown since the Rose Bowl. So you mentioned the weight of the Rose Bowl, and now I've checked about 3 other measurements since then. The Senior Bowl, there was another measurement. There was the NFL Combine, and he has just been able to knock it down. 361, 353 seems to be the last measurement for Zach Banner that I can find. So he's at least shown that with money being an incentive, that he can drop a small child off of his body, I guess, at this point.
Oh, when you think about it that way, yeah, he is. He's lost a kid since the Rose Bowl. That's incredible. He's going to be a great benefit. Him and Dory Jackson both they're great people. You want to be around them. They're going to be a great addition to whatever roster, whatever locker room you put them in. And again, it's hard for scouts to sort of quantify that and say that's the caliber of character I want. But Zach Banner is just he's infectious, and he brings a lot on the personal side to a locker room that I think is going to make him, or at least should make him, even more attractive.
Difficult to quantify, but no less important, especially when you look at the composite NFL rap sheet for a year and how sizable that is, unfortunately. So USC with about 9 to 10 draftable players, we knocked out what most consider to be the top 4. Nick Dempsey from Conquest Chronicles breaking down USC's draft situation with the NFL draft just a few weeks away. Nick, thank you.
Of course, Mark, anytime.